All right, hey guys, welcome to the Scoop, where we're gonna have real locker room talk with real athletes internationally. I'm Perfect Pervis, and joining me is Jamal Clay, the owner of Athletes Forum, as well as today's guest athlete, Jamaal White. Before we even get into anything, first thing we got to do, as we do, is we got to introduce this guest to you, Jamaal White, and we do it the best here. We're going to show you a couple of his stats. Y'all take a look at this right here. All right, Jamaal White. Yeah. Northwestern State University product, home of the Demons. He played in the FXFL, indoor football, and spent the last four seasons. Should have been five, but 2020 seasons in Germany, playing in the best league in Europe. This guy got some stats. And if y'all don't even know, he told me I don't keep up with the stats. It wasn't hard to find. Just go look at where he was and stats showed up. This guy has over 3,000 return yards, over 250 tackles. Yeah, he's a safety. He comes down and make plays. 2019 German Bowl champion. So he's a winner. Don't get it confused. 40 passes defense. And if you don't know what pass defense means, that means you have to touch the ball. That's PBUs right there. PBUs and interceptions. And probably more if, stats like those are hard to keep. But 12 return touchdowns. That's punt return, kick return, interception return. If he get his hand on the ball, he's scoring. That's one thing for you. He got 12 interceptions on the season. I want to say half of those are touchdowns. He's like a 50% interception to the house type guy. 5 forced fumbles. Like I said, he is safe. He bringing a little bit of that wood with him every time. And he even got 2 blocked kicks. I didn't have time to put it on the stat thing, but he also got a safety. So, he do a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. Man, it's good to have you on the show. And obviously, like we were saying before we even started going here, me and you haven't really crossed paths, but God, you one of them dudes. So it's good to have you on the show, man. I'm excited about this today.
Thank y'all for having me. Huh?
Yeah, so let's just hop into that first thing. First thing we'll talk about right now is an important topic, a topic that a lot of people, have side conversations about. We're going to bring it to the light, and that's how much imports are paid in Europe, okay? What we want to ask you and just kind of get your feedback on is, do you think that imports are paid sufficiently enough throughout Europe as a whole? Or do you think there's maybe some changes that could be made to make it a better situation?
I would say it depends on where you are. Berlin is the perfect city to be at, just to spend, not even spend money, just to be here and not do a lot, just to go to the park or do cheap things like you would do at home or anything like that. So my biggest thing is I was comfortable. You don't have to pay for rent. You don't have to pay for transportation. The only thing you got to do is pay for food. So if you can't save your money or, have your money tied to where you're not splurging and going broke every month before you get your check, then you're good. You get paid enough. You imports in European football, I'm not sure about other leagues, but I would say the top teams like New York or the Berlin Rebels or teams in the GFL 1. I don't know the pay in the GFL 2 or other leagues, but the pay in the GFL 1 is good. If you're good and you coming out here, you should be fine. But after the first year, my first year, I had trouble, though. I was getting paid really, 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 really low. I was upset, actually. I didn't want to come back to it. But that's good, though, man. It makes people come out here and ball. I've seen a lot of guys get paid big money, like quarterbacks, and they come out here and they just get lazy and just comfortable and don't work hard. No, actually, to be honest, we're here for a reason. You're just here to win a championship. You shouldn't want to do anything else out here just to win a championship. Money, you're not going to get rich out here. You're not going to get paid 5,000 euros or whatever a month. So the whole thing was to come out here is to just experience another country, have fun, and win a championship and meet new people. That's why I didn't really care about money, because I was somewhere new. I wasn't at home doing something I didn't want to do, and I was comfortable. I was getting enough money. If you want to put a price tag on it, I would say around from your first year, you'll probably get 800 euros a month. Into when you get I'm not gonna say a status like me, but once you get there, you'll get paid around 1,800 to 1,500 a month. That's about it. You don't get rich out here, though.
Oh, yeah. I was just about to say, what do you think, Clay? I'm calling you Clay instead of Jamal.
Just segueing off that, I think, a lot of people who go out there, either say like, hey, I'm going to use it as an opportunity to go to the league, or I'm going to go out here and make as much money as possible. And that's really not the case. Like, you're not, like you mentioned, you're not going to come out here and break the bank.
No.
So essentially, like, do you feel like all imports, at least in the beginning, because obviously status on position is different, do you feel like all imports should get paid equally, or is it depend if you're a quarterback versus everyone else type of thing?
No, you shouldn't get paid equally. I had a problem with that my first year, actually. Not my first year. I think it was like my third year with the Rebels. A D lineman was coming in almost making more money than me. I'm not a money guy, but I know my worth, and I work hard.
Yeah.
I get everybody better. I'm getting the youth better. Like, I'm doing a lot for when I come here. I'm not just playing football and vacationing. Like, I'm doing a lot. So when he was making like 200 euros more than me, and he's a D lineman, and he was missing games and stuff, that's when I had a problem with it. But I'm not really a big money guy like that because I love football so much. So when I'm done, that's when I will be worried about money and stuff like that. But he was making more money than me. So I think, it shouldn't be like that. The guys that come in and do a lot, some teams see that, and they raise their pay. Hey, you want to train the youth? I'll give you 200, 300 euros on the side, something like that. But you got to work for it. You can't just come out here and be like, yeah, I got 30 touchdowns, I need to get paid. They won't do that. No. You can't big boy them. So you got to do something for your money. You got to either coach or something. So if a guy's doing that as a quarterback or something, I won't get mad. But if he's just coming out here playing football, going to sleep, not working extra hard, not doing extra for the team, because when you come out here, you got to do extra. You actually the coach almost. You actually, spreading your knowledge of the game that you've been learning back at home. You know what I'm saying? So when guys don't come out here and do that and they just cry about money, I'm not getting paid enough, then I get upset and then it get ugly. So
I want to throw in my anecdote, man, because you hitting on some stuff that I went through. I find it crazy whenever a team is like, and Finland, that's where I'm at. And if you in Finland, you watching this, I'm gonna talk about it. There are some teams out here that be like, okay, we're gonna pay all our imports this amount of money. We're going to import coach and import players, and we're going to pay all of them the same exact amount of money. And that's what we're going to do. And those teams suck. And that's what it is, because the number was too low for certain positions and too high for other positions, and on what they wanted the players and things to do. I think that it needs to be exactly like what you said, Jamaal, is that, what you do determines your worth. And again, that whole, like, if you come into the league, blue-eyed fresh, you should be getting paid a little bit less than someone who's been around there and they know what they're going to get from them, and you should be able to work your way up. One disconnect that I think that we're having as a football community is that work your way up mentality. You have a lot of teams who are willing to say, we'll pay you this much. Next year, we're not going to pay you more. We're going to pay you the same. Mm-hmm. And then they lose those players. That's what happens. They lose those players. Because they're not willing to invest in them as a development of their team. I think that's one of the biggest issues when we talk about the money with imports is, okay, you got an import who's played 2 years, 2 different teams, and he's like, hey, this is how much I want because this is how much I'm worth, and I know I can do this for your organization. And teams are willing to say, nah, we'll just get somebody straight out of college and take our chances. Yeah. And that hurts both. One, it hurts the players. One thing, I'm a running back originally. I actually didn't play much running back in Europe. But originally, I'm a running back at heart. That's one of the hardest positions to, like, get on in Europe. Yeah. I have tons of running backs who are coming to me like, hey, man, can you help me? I'm like, I will try. But just like the NFL, the position is not valued as high as it was. I always tell them, like, if you play running back, can you play defensive back? Can you play receiver? Can you do more? Me back in my days when I played, I was a two-way. I was a DB and a running back. I always led the league in interceptions, but I also had a lot of rushing yards. And I was somewhat like you, but to a much lower level, Jamaal. I like to score touchdowns from defense as well. But that's one thing that I see a lot less of nowadays. And I'm aging myself when I keep saying nowadays, but it's the truth of the matter in all football sports is you have kids growing up saying, okay, I'm a receiver at age 10. And by the time they're 16, that's all they know. So when I put them on the defensive side of the ball, if they're athletic, maybe they can do something. But you got guys who aren't learning two positions. Even in the game in Europe, when you're looking at your kids playing in the youth league, they're playing one side of the ball. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Now, I understand if you get paid to play quarterback, just play quarterback.
Different. Yeah, it's different.
But you played some running back and some receiver and got in the mix.
I was going to get at. I was going to get at that. I was like, I had to prove to these guys out here that I could play both sides of the ball. I've never played both sides of the ball. But the first time I played both sides of the ball was out here, receiver and safety. You know what I'm saying? My first year coming out here, I had to send them a video from back at home showing them that I could play two positions, or they wasn't going to bring me in just for a safety. Yeah. They didn't know who I was at the time. You know, they missed out. Some teams missed out a lot on, because some teams called me and was like, yeah, we're going to bring you in. They never did. You know what I'm saying? So the Rebels was the only team to do it. And I had to prove to them that I could play two positions for the minimum of euros. So, I mean, you just got to come out here and just get it done. Like, you got to take it more of as a vacation than coming out here for a job in football. Like, if you had, for an American to see Europe, bro, that's big. That's different. Like, you can be like me and love it and have a great career and move here. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty fun. That's pretty dope to me that I was able to do that. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, going off what you just said in terms of like when you first got out there, you was getting paid like the minimum, so to say. Do you think us as athletes will ever get to a point where it's like, all right, you know, it's my first year over there, you know, is it this 10 years down the road? Am I still going to be getting paid the bare minimum that they were getting paid back in 2020? Or do you think we'll have the opportunity to raise that floor eventually?
I think we will, but I'm not sure about that first year stuff. Like, I don't know if there's going to be an American that come out here is getting paid 1,500 euros a month who first get out here. You know what I'm saying? I think majority of them got to prove themselves because, like I said earlier, it's been a lot of guys come out here and just be bust. I don't know how you can be a bust in Europe like that. You know what I'm saying? And my coaches called me like, man, this dude requesting 1,200, 1,300 euros. He ain't even been out here yet. I'm like, dang. And I don't think it should change though. I think
it's knowledge. It's knowledge when it comes to that. Is that a lot of these guys that are first year players, they have no idea what is going on. And they don't understand that they see a number amount. And you got to be able to look at it as if you're getting paid, they're paying for your flight, they're paying for your insurance, they're paying for your housing. If you can really work your magic and got a good team, they're paying for your food. And you know, you got different countries with different rules. Like if you go to somewhere like in Sweden, you have to be paid the amount of a living wage to play there. Of course. You can't get, you know, a shitty number. But I've seen players, you know, go to Spain and even here in Finland and get paid. And again, this is very extreme cases, get paid literally like $300 or $400 a month and be like, okay, I'm gonna make it work. And I'm like, you're killing these guys that are worth like $1,500 because you're taking this cheap money and saying it's okay. These teams got to, you know, be more respectable. But again, GFL type numbers are usually higher for imports. And a lot of players that go there, you have more opportunity by just playing on one team there. You're able to play on multiple teams. They like to recruit from within that range of players as well. So it's a good situation. But yeah, the money situation, I don't think there's a number. Like you said, I don't think there's a number you can really put on it. Every situation is different. But I do think that as a whole, imports are getting paid and getting benefits, which is great. Yes. But also, I do think there's a lot of outliers of situations where either the imports aren't holding up to their end or the team isn't holding up to theirs. And those few situations are what is holding us back as a collective of being able to move forward and have a more structured system like what Clay was talking about doing.
Yeah.
Have you checked out K Noah's ready-to-wear collection? It's K Noah's top-notch quality, but it's teamwear made custom for you and your team, so you can rep your squad now. All right, that's it for us on The Scoop. Keeping the locker room talk real as always. I'd like to thank our guest, Jamaal White, for coming on the show and kicking it with us today. It's really good to talk to you, man. Just want to let you know, we wishing you the best on both your career and everything else in life that you're pursuing. And we just want to make the statement known that, you know, there's a lot more to life than just football. We all love football. And it's a great part of our lives, but we want to see you be successful in everything you do, man, because we're here for you. We're all part of this community, and we want to make sure that you are doing your part and enjoying your life as well outside of the game. So with that, Clay, any last words you want to say to my man?
Yeah, man.
Anybody in the audience?
Yeah, man. Like Pervis said, just football brought us here, but obviously there's more than that than off the field stuff. So appreciate the opportunity. What you got going on? What you got going on next? What's a couple? What projects are you working on, or what's new for you over there in Berlin?
Well, since the Corona thing hit, I really got into like training and stuff. So I was going to do it anyways, like train young athletes, the youth and everything. So that's really what I'm about to get into. Since I am 30 years old and I'm getting old, man, I can't move with these. And they bringing all these fast guys in this league, man. I'm getting scared. Like, oh, shit, I need to get out. So I'm gonna do 1 year. I'm thinking about doing one more year, man. And I'm gonna really get into training hardcore, like training the kids around here, getting them into college because a lot of them need that out here. They need that. They need to learn how to run for starters. They need to learn how to run. So me with my background running track and knowing some speed mechanics, some running mechanic stuff, I'm going to try to really, really, pound that into them and do what I can do. That and the ELF, man, I'm going to try to play one more year in football and see how it goes. If I feel good, then I'm going to try to push it out a couple more years just to have some fun. And other than that, I'm really wanting to get into something else outside of football, training the youth. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I've been doing.
Most definitely. Well, again, appreciate you coming on and sharing this time with us, and
we need stuff like this. We need stuff like this. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you good.
Yeah, we need stuff like this, for athletes to be heard out here and get a little platform because it's been quiet for a long time, and that's good that you guys are giving the athletes a voice. That's pretty good. I like that.
Exactly, bro. It's the locker room, bro. It's the locker room for us. So.
Real talk for sure.
All right. So everybody, thanks for watching the show on YouTube or listening to it on your podcast outlet. Be sure to subscribe to Athletes Forum YouTube channel or American Football in Finland's podcast to catch the scoop every week in either video or audio format, whatever you want. We got it. We got the YouTube channel. You can go to Athletes Forum website and find the videos if you want to. Any podcast that you use, Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, Sketcher, Eater, ABC, whatever the channel is, you type in, hey, we on all of them. You type in American Football in Finland and the scoop will show up, okay? You can also follow us on Twitter at The Scoop AF, or you can follow on Instagram at Athletes Forum, on Facebook at Athletes Forum as well. And also, just so you know, by following us on all our channels, you'll have a chance to win team gear swag provided by our sponsors at K Noah. So be sure to follow the instructions in the description below this video, or in the description, or the description in the I can't remember what I was going to say. Description in the audio version as well. I really should do these outros better, but I can't. So that's everything, guys, and we appreciate it. Thanks for listening and watching, and we'll catch you next time on The Scoop.
Thank y'all, man.